Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast.
Adam Sandler.
Oli, oli.
So, for those of you who had no idea what the fuck I just did, that's basically old school Adam Sandler. He used to make a lot of cool, funny sounds, a lot of cool skits on Saturday Night Live. To me, Adam Sandler is fucking awesome. I know nowadays, he gets ripped on for doing all these, stupid movies on Netflix, and he'll do silly movies sometimes still in theaters and blah 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 whatever. But you know what? You got to think back to old school Sandler. This is where Sandler was the man. I mean, he was everywhere. He had huge hit movies, and he was just awesome. Like, he really was. And I'm not even saying that he's not awesome now. He's very loyal to his friends. He always puts his buddies in movies, and I don't know. I've just always liked Sandler. Me and my dad. It's one of the few things that we actually bonded on is Adam Sandler movies. So that really just shows right there, like, he can reach, different age groups, and he's just a cool guy. I always looked at Adam Sandler as like this guy who basically, was just kind of like an everyday man. I mean, if you know who Rodney Dangerfield is, great comedian. He actually ended up doing a movie with Adam Sandler. And Rodney Dangerfield always played this guy in movies where, he was always like, a guy with some money, or or was about to get money, or just working towards money or whatever. And that's basically what Adam Sandler is. He's kind of like the next generation of that, and he's made some classics, man. He's done some bombs. I hear you, but overall, Sandler is an awesome dude. Adam Richard Sandler was born September 9th, 1966. He's an actor, he's a comedian, he's a screenwriter, and he's also a film producer. Good old Wikipedia here says that his movies have grossed over $2 billion at the box office. That's insane. And he's also known for great roles such as Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Waterboy, The Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, and everybody's least favorite, Jack and Jill, which apparently got him 3 Razzie Awards and 11 nominations. And he falls only second place to Sylvester Stallone with Razzies. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? I mean, he's created like so many comedy classics. I mean, look, if I watch an Adam Sandler movie, I'm not expecting Schindler's List here. I just want to see something fucking funny. That's all. You know, I want to see some cool characters that I grew up with on Saturday Night Live, or some of his buddies just doing stupid shit. I mean, like, Adam Sandler is like just that silliness that is in all of us. That little part that never really grew up. And, we just like a cheap laugh, like a fart joke or whatever, like, who cares? As long as it makes you laugh, that's all that matters. Me personally, when I started loving Adam Sandler was when I first saw him on Saturday Night Live. Now, always loved Saturday Night Live. I mean, Saturday Night Live, I loved anybody that was ever on that show. But at the same time, there were times where the cast was more funny or more serious or just more silly. And at the time when Sandler was on Saturday Night Live, it was, all the boys there, David Spade, Chris Farley, Rob Schneider, just all these dudes, and They were just more silly. That's all. But it was funny. I mean, like, he went on there, he did a whole bunch of funny skits. I mean, apparently he was a really big writer there. I mean, he'd be teamed up with people, and he would just sit there for just all night, really, and just write skits. And he was a really hard worker. I mean, back then, a lot of the people say that he was the one that was going to make it because he just worked the hardest. So that's a lot of people don't see, like, behind the scenes. I mean, they'll just see Adam Sandler just on film and just doing stupid and silly shit, but a lot goes into making a movie, apparently. And he's earned it. He's earned his success, for sure. Nobody can definitely take that away from him. So unless you're like Rotten Tomatoes, which, by the way, I on a side note here, I think Rotten Tomatoes is bullshit, because anybody can go on there and, like, give The Godfather a 0. You know what I mean? So Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean shit. If you want to go on a good website, go on IMDb. All right, that's more accurate. They get film critics there, and again, I'm not saying they're any nicer rating Adam Sandler movies, but again, I mean, Adam Sandler just represents that fun silliness in all of us. Some movies are more silly than others. Some of them try to be a little bit more serious, and but it is what it is. The way I see it is, if you're a comedian, if you're a performer in the dramatic arts, if you can make like 5 good movies, then you're going to be remembered. And if you can make 10 good movies, then you're going to be a legend. And I just like to go through all the stuff that Adam Sandler has done. I mean, for sure, in my eyes, he's definitely a legend, for sure, in comedy. He's provided a lot of cool shit for us. So let's just go through it and see what's going on. It says here the very first thing he did was The Cosby Show. All right. Again, I talked about this during my Bill Cosby podcast, and I never understood the Bill Cosby Show. I didn't get if it was a drama or comedy, But again, you're starting out. It's your first gig, It says here he was in 4 episodes, so you know what? If someone told me I'm going to be on the hit show, why not? I mean, did we know what was going to happen after? Well, maybe some of us did. The point is just, that's where he started, and, yeah. Now, this next movie he did was called Going Overboard. Now, I've never actually seen this movie, but this was his very first starring role in a movie. Now, it says here that he plays a struggling young comedian, and he takes just a whatever job on a cruise ship, and he's trying to do some cruise ship comedy or something. I don't know. If you look at the movie poster, like sometimes when you look at a movie, like you don't want to just judge a book by its cover. You don't want to judge a movie by the poster. But, it shows Adam Sandler clearly just digitally put in some fake water and whatever. And he's like, you know what? I didn't want to do this shit. But again, it's a leading role. I mean, why not, According to IMDb here, it got 1.9 out of 10. Holy shit. Really? Holy shit. Wow, I didn't think that was possible. Okay. The point is, again, you get started in this business, you learn what's going on, whatever. I'm not going to judge him. The next thing he did, the Marshall Chronicles, never heard of it. ABC After School Drug Specials. He actually did one. Oh, he played a drug dealer. That's funny. Okay. All right. That's all right. Well, so far this looks like the funniest thing he's done. So, okay. The Dog Police, that was a TV movie. Yeah, for those of you that are listening to this and are millennials, for some reason, I don't know, like we had a huge obsession with dogs doing stupid shit in the 90s. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know, like there was that dog that played basketball or something. Air Bud. It was fucking stupid. But anyways, next movie he did was called Shakes the Clown. I just recently watched the trailer for this movie. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, it stars the comedian Bobcat Goldthwait. Yeah, I don't know. Make of it what you will. It's he plays Dink the Clown. Okay, whatever. It's clowns are cool. Not really. The next movie he did was Coneheads. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Dan Aykroyd was on Saturday Night Live. He was part of the not ready for primetime cast, and he created a skit called Coneheads, and it was about these dudes who, or about this family who had like a head, and they were just basically 3 feet almost in the air, pointy heads, and they came from space and they came down here to have a normal life, and yeah, basically, long story short, I'm not gonna lie, the skits were way better. This movie was all right, although like if you watch the movie now, it had like tons of people in it, like tons of cameos, like everything from obviously Adam Sandler to George Costanza. So if you want to check it out just for shits and gigs, yeah. Actually, what's funny about this movie is that like I remember like he's in it for like 20 seconds or something, and Dan Aykroyd. I can't believe I'm talking this much about Coneheads. But anyways, Dan Aykroyd, who plays Beldar, the father, he works for Sinbad, the comedian, not the pirate, and he takes him to a buddy he knows, this mafioso guy who's actually played by Adam Sandler, Carmine. As an Italian, I mean, did he pull off an Italian? Not really. But again, to be part of that cast, why not? I would do it too. Who cares? Paycheck's a paycheck. Then he was in the Larry Sanders Show. He played himself. He did a good job playing himself. That's a great show. So that's awesome. Now, okay, this is where Adam Sandler sort of, I guess, sort of more gets now recognized as an actual, not leading man or just part of a leading cast, I guess. Airheads. Now, Airheads came out in 1994. It also stars Brendan Fraser, the dude who was in the first 2 good Mummy movies, and good old Steve Buscemi, who is pretty much awesome in everything. And he plays a guy named Pip, and it's about 3 dudes who go to a radio station and take it over, and just try to get their demo played on the radio. Now it sounds like a bullshit movie, but it's actually pretty funny. I liked it. Again, a lot of good cameos. I don't want to give it away. As I mentioned, I didn't mention this before. Farley was actually in Coneheads, and he was also in Airheads as well. And even the lead guy that was in Grandma's Boys in Airheads. Actually, him and Sandler have this kind of funny scene together. And again, I don't want to give a lot of it away, but it is actually a really funny movie. So if you're a fan of Sandler and comedies like this, check it out. I think you'll like it. Mixed Nuts. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a Steve Martin movie. Okay. I've never seen it, so I can't say if it's good or not. It looks like a Christmas movie. Cool. Billy Madison. Here we go. Okay. Now, around this time, from what I heard, is that he was still on Saturday Night Live or just leaving Saturday Night Live or something like that. Like, I even heard that like technically Adam Sandler got fired from Saturday Night Live because it's not that he didn't get along with anybody, but like he wanted to do his own thing. Like he wanted to create his own production movie studio, whatever, right? And so what he did was in the 90s, mid 90s, he created 2 movies, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Now that production ended up being the combination of both those names called Happy Madison Productions. So, and this is the movie that basically got the ball rolling. Now, apparently Lorne Michaels had a chance to do a deal with Adam Sandler. He passed on it. And, of course, the rest is history. Adam Sandler, made some pretty good bank, in the mid late '90s. Same thing in the thousands as well. But I mean, this, a lot of people didn't like this movie. A lot of people panned this movie. I think this movie is fucking hilarious. It's about a dude who basically, he's like a man child. I mean, this is like way before Step Brothers, and yeah, he wants to inherit or take over his dad's company, whatever. And of course, he never got his high school education. So literally, he has to start from grade, or no, actually from kindergarten and all the way to high school, and he has to graduate. So, again, a lot of funny people in this movie. One thing I forgot to mention again, like a lot of his buddies always like just show up in these movies, like Farley and Norm Macdonald, and like again, he's very loyal. I mean, like the people he worked with Saturday Night Live, he, brought him into the his movies as well. So I always liked Sandler for that. I always thought that was a really cool move. Like he didn't forget where he came from. He always remembered how people helped him out on Saturday Night Live with all the skits, and I always thought that was a really cool move. So like I said before, like he did Saturday Night Live between 1990 and 95. And like I just said before, he started doing all these movies. I mean, he did a ton of great characters on Saturday Night Live. Like he would just do stupid shit. I remember like he'd show up on the news, and like he just did this whole spiel about you can't you can't afford a Halloween costume. Just roll up a piece of newspaper and put it to your forehead. I'm newspaper boy. Give me some candy. Just stupid shit like that. He did Opera Man, where he would just like sing what's going on in the news, like all that, whatever. Nipola. And of course, one of the most classic moments he did on Saturday Night Live is when he did the Hanukkah song. And I always remember when he did the line about Harrison Ford. He says, Harrison Ford is a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. And he made a good point saying that, like back in the day, like you couldn't go online and find out like, who's Jewish or whatever, so like he was like, man, I do some heavy research to find out that Harrison Ford was a quarter Jewish, so I didn't know that either until that time. I don't know. I thought, just Harrison Ford was 100% badass, but, that's it. And then after Billy Madison, the success of that, he did Happy Gilmore, which is a movie I must have seen at this point in my life probably 1,001 times. I can basically quote every song in this movie, every line. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life, and I still enjoy watching it to this day. And it's not because of the hockey element, because I'm Canadian. It's just because it is just a really funny movie. So basically, this movie is about a dude who, lives with his grandma, and oh no, he doesn't live with his grandma. No, he lives on his own. But then, he did live with his grandma, and actually, you know what? Now I think about it, I mean, his grandma lived all alone in the house. I mean, he got an apartment. Like he could have just stayed with. Again, this is my point. When you watch an Adam Sandler movie, just I'm not saying you got to turn your brain off like you're stupid, but just enjoy it for what it's worth. But anyways, so his grandma's house got repossessed. Did I just say repossessed? I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. I got dry mouth. Anyways, it got taken away from the bank, and basically, he decides to play golf because he was, apparently doing some dares with Will Sasso there. And he found out he can drive the ball really far. And then he finds out, like Apollo Creed used to play golf too, and he wants to help him out. And Shooter McGavin, who's the bad guy, he wants to, he doesn't really take him seriously, and he ends up falling in love with the blonde lady from Modern Family. And it's, again, I'm not explaining this movie very well, but again, it is a really funny movie. Great lines, great acting. Kevin Nealon steals every fucking scene he's in. I love that guy. That's another guy that was on Saturday Night Live that he always ends up working with Sandler. Tons of movies he's done with him. He's awesome. It's a really funny movie. I heard a rumor that Bruce Campbell was apparently supposed to be the bad guy, but he turned it down or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that could have worked. I don't know. Who knows? But the guy who plays Shooter McGavin is fucking hilarious. He also played the bad guy in another cult classic movie called Dirty Work, starring Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang. Check that one out too. Actually, Adam Sandler is actually in that one. He plays the devil. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. But anyways, then he did a movie, Adam Sandler, Steve Prolopoulos. He played a Greek guy? Really? I don't remember this. Hold on. 1996. I've never heard of this. Wait, music video of the hit Adam Sandler song, Steve Prolopoulos. Man, I'm Greek too. I can't pronounce this shit. From his 1996 album, What the Hell Happened to Me. Okay, so I completely forgot about this for a second. Keep in mind, for those of you that are listening, probably under 20, we used to listen to a thing called CDs. CDs were, actual albums. See, like back in the day, like if you were like a rapper or there's no rockers anymore. Okay, so I guess a rapper. You wouldn't just put out, songs and then get and hopefully they get 100 million views on YouTube. They used to make actual, full length albums. Lots of tracks on there, and that's exactly what Adam Sandler did. Except he combined it with like a lot of comedy skits and like just random stuff, like random songs and stuff. He had another version of the Hanukkah song on there as well. Just random. I mean, like, okay, like one skit on the album. I mean, like he came up with, I think, 4 albums or something like that, or 3. I forgot. But the first one was called "They're All Gonna Laugh at You," and I recommend anybody that likes comedy, silly comedy, download that album because you will laugh your ass off. If anything, there's one skit in there I remember that it was called "Toll Booth Willie" whatever, and I think that was basically the basis for Big Daddy because that's the job he had in the movie. And then there's another one, where he played a principal. And he would just go on the PA like this, and it's just I just want all the cheerleaders to come to my room and watch him masturbate. He would just do crazy, say stupid Malaka shit, and it was funny, man. I laughed my ass off, like. So, and apparently that album went like platinum, and he was really good at it. I mean, like Sandler just nailed that like silly comedy niche, and again he got all his buddies on there, Schneider and Spade and all those dudes, and it was really funny. So check those albums out. He also did one song on like, I don't know, one of the albums. I forgot the song, I forgot what the song was called, but. It's just a funny song, it's like, take that shampoo bottle and stick it up my ass. Just the most random stupid shit you'd ever hear. But, that's Sandler. Sandler's just a silly dude, and it just works. Then in the same year as Steve Prolopoulos, he made the movie Bulletproof. Now, I actually remember this movie. This is with the Wayans brother and I believe James Caan was in this movie. He played the bad guy. I mean, this movie, it was all right. Nothing, whatever. It was all right. I mean, it's all right. And then came, in my opinion, probably his best movie overall, in the sense where like it was really funny, it was sweet. It's kind of a cute little date movie, little movie called The Wedding Singer, where he played a character named Robbie Hart, and the movie was based on or in the year 1985. And for those of you who are also Adam Sandler fans, you know that he was an 80s kid. I mean, you watch any of his movies, like every thing he's done, it's always just revolved around the 80s, the soundtrack, and this represents it to the fullest for sure. Everything from the actually, now I think about it, he kind of had like a Howie Mandel kind of fro going there, mixed with like AC Slater a little bit. But yeah, I mean, basically, this movie, was about surprise, surprise, him playing a wedding singer, and he got stood up at the altar, from his fiance, and the other love interest in the movie is played by Drew Barrymore, and yeah, it is a really, really good movie. Again, I don't want to give a lot away in these movies. I'm doing this on purpose because I just want people to see these movies for the first time without no spoilers. But again, it is a really funny movie, really great cast of people. It's a very sweet story. There's a great rock cameo in it, from the 80s at the end of the movie. And yeah, like I said before, all around, this is probably one of his best movies he's ever done, for sure. And yeah, as I mentioned before, he did Dirty Work. He was just in that one scene. He played Satan. There was a rumor that Howard Stern was supposed to play Satan, but he didn't want to do it. And, Adam Sandler, just went in there and whatever. He was holding it was just some kind of weird trippy moment where they had a bad brownie or something, and together we bake the pig and together we burn. Good times. So anyways, 1998 rolls around. I don't know why I said rolls around. Yeah, because The Wedding Singer and Dirty Work came out the same year. So, all right, let's just edit that out. Anyways, The Waterboy. That was a huge success for Adam Sandler. That was a gigantic hit for him as well. Again, it's about a dude who, basically is, I don't know. I mean, nowadays, with the PC world, whatever, I'll just say he was a little off, and play it safe. And he would just be a water boy, but he was almost like the Brita of water boys. He had a whole filter system and all that, and people were just laughing at making fun of him, and then someone finally just made fun of him so much that he just ran on the field like and just knocked the guy out, and all of a sudden became a tackle dude. And yeah, it was again really funny movie. A lot of funny people in that movie. Schneider was in that. I mean, that's where "You Can Do It" came from. And yeah, very good movie. Next year, 1999, Big Daddy came out. It is not what you think. It is actually about an actual daddy who, okay, so basically Adam Sandler finds out that he's a dad. Right? I know. And he has to take care of this kid, and yeah, he doesn't know what to do. I mean, like it's like any other Sandler movie. He's like basically a grown-up kid, by himself, so he doesn't know what the hell to do. So oh yeah, I forgot to mention before a little thing about The Waterboy. I think they got that from Canteen Boy on Saturday Night Live. It's a really funny skit. If you look it up, it's him and Alec Baldwin, in playing Boy Scouts or some shit. And like I think Alec Baldwin is like the head scout leader or something, and he keeps coming on to him. And yeah, it's pretty fucking disturbing to watch today. But check it out. Why not? So anyways, yeah, Big Daddy, again, big hit, ironically. And yeah, it was a great movie, So you can see what Adam Sandler, like in the mid-'90s to late 90s, I mean, he was the man. I mean, he had hit after hit after hit. So, yeah. And then, 2000 came, but like before that, he did a video short, The Peeper. I never heard of that. I don't know what that is. An addictive pervert climbs on a tree and spies on a young woman with disastrous results. Okay, you know what's funny is like I've never heard of this before, but Little Nicky that came out in 2000. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to skip school all the time. I used to go. Like, I live in Toronto. That's a city in Canada. For those of you who don't know, and like close to Yonge and Bloor, there used to be this like uptown theater. And yeah, I mean they would have like movies, start as early as like 1 o'clock. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna skip school and go see these movies. If anything, it's funny because like in Dirty Work, I don't know. I forgot if I mentioned this in the Norm Macdonald podcast, but yeah, that's where they taped the movie theater scene at the Uptown Theater. And so I skipped and I went to go see Little Nicky. And what's funny is in the beginning of the movie, there's a funny scene with John Lovitz, like hanging in a tree and just looking at a woman who has great big eyes. And he fucks up and ends up in hell. So I guess that's where they got that from. I honestly never knew that. I'm literally learning this as I'm speaking right now. But before he did Little Nicky, he was in Deuce Bigalow. Well, okay. So Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, was part of his company there, like Happy Madison. And I didn't even know he was in it. He says he played Robert Justin. He played a voice and he was uncredited. Really? I gotta go back and check that out. But anyways, so again, like, not only does he have success, with his movies, he's doing all these other things. I love Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. That movie's hilarious. The second one sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And it's not because they made fun of the Toronto Maple Leafs in that one scene. It was just a shitty movie. But the first one is fucking hilarious. I don't care. I must make pee-pee. So Little Nicky again. I liked it. I thought it was funny. A lot of people found the whole voice that he did annoying. Like he had this kind of like weird kind of voice going on there. I didn't mind it, whatever. But a movie got panned a little bit, and I mean, people were starting to think like, okay, shit, like is this the peak of Adam Sandler? Is it going to go downhill from here? But again, it's like if you love Adam Sandler and you love his movies and like you're gonna like shit like this. So I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. Again, The Animal. He made a little, I think, a cameo in there or something like that. He played a townie, whatever. Again, part of his company. Rob Schneider starred in it. Again, I don't know. I thought it was all right. I mean, I don't know, nothing special, but again, still, like he's got the movies. He's got his production, other studio there. So he's still killing it. He's still, he's got both sides here. Worst case scenario, one of his buddies got an idea for a movie. Boom, let's make it. So there you go. That's cool. Now, 2002, a movie came out with him called Punch Drunk Love. Now, this movie is basically Adam Sandler trying to be really serious, or just just more like in a serious role. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried to watch this movie when it first came out. I couldn't get through it. I tried to watch it years ago again. I couldn't get through it. Like I know it's praised. I get it. Maybe I'm gonna get some shit for this. I don't know, but I just didn't see the big deal in this movie. I really didn't. I like certain parts in it, but I don't know. But again, I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I don't know. But anyways, this movie is basically about a dude who has like a really boring job, whatever, and he falls in love with this woman, and he's got to do a lot of like other shit. Like there's a lot of other shit. Like again, I don't want to give it away, but I mean, it was a decent little movie, I guess. But I just didn't see the big deal in it. That's all, But again, this was like Adam Sandler trying to be more serious, and I'm sure he's been getting it all his life. Oh, he's too silly, stupid movies, whatever. But who cares, man? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Who gives a shit? So, same year, came out with Mr. Deeds. I believe Mr. Deeds was like a remake of a movie that came out years before that. Basically, it's about a dude who finds out, I don't know, I think it's like his uncle died or something like that, and then like he inherits all the money, and basically goes from average Joe to to extremely wealthy. It's a decent little movie. John Turturro, though, is in the movie, and he plays the butler, and he is by far the best character in the movie. So, the movie itself is all right, but it's almost worth seeing it just for the John Turturro scenes. He's a really good actor. If you don't know who he is, one of his most notable roles is I guess his name is Jesus in The Big Lebowski. As John Goodman would say, 8-year-olds, dude. Anyways, same year, around Christmas time, came out with 8 Crazy Nights. Now, this was, I guess it was Adam Sandler's first attempt at like a kind of a Christmas movie, I guess. It was a cartoon. He did a lot of the voices. Again, he got shit for like, the voices being kind of annoying and silly and, 8 Crazy Nights, they're making fun of, the whole Jewish Christmas thing and all that. And I don't know. I mean, I thought the movie was, whatever. I mean, it was all right. Nothing special, I guess. I don't know. It's weird seeing movies like that because at times it's really silly. At times it tries to be serious and it just goes back and forth. And I don't know. Like me personally, I'd rather have one thing or the other. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? Then he did was it a short called A Day with the Meatball. Again, this is something I've never heard of. A Day with Adam Sandler's dog, Meatball. Okay. Well, I did not know Adam Sandler had a dog. So, meatballs are good. Also in 2002, The Hot Chick came out. Again, another, Rob Schneider movie. He just had a quick little cameo in that. Again, still doing this thing with the, his side production there, and there you go. Pauly Shore is dead. What's funny is like I like Pauly Shore. I'm not gonna lie. I like 3 of his movies. All right, I'm gonna say is this: I like Encino Man. I liked Son-in-Law and In the Army Now. I wasn't a fan of Biodome, but I think this movie has something to do with like people wondering where the fuck Paul Shore went. He just got a whole bunch of people, and yeah, Sandler, why not? Sandler's nice like that. He'll just show up in random shit. Like even too like I was gonna say this. A lot of times like Adam Sandler will do stuff with Conan, and there's a funny skit he did on Conan O'Brien where he couldn't find him, and he had just an orange soda, and he's just walking around L.A. in a robe and. It's just stupid. It's funny. I don't know. I don't know what it is with Sam. I fucking love him. He's just a lovable, cool dude. I don't know. But okay, so 2003 comes out, and he ends up doing a movie with one of my favorite actors of all time, Jack Nicholson, in Anger Management. No, not the shitty show that Charlie Sheen was in. There was an actual movie. This is where the idea for the show came from, I guess, whatever. This movie, again, it didn't, I mean, it got decent reviews, I guess. I mean, again, like it had its moments. It just wasn't, I felt it wasn't that well executed. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was like too many cameos in these movies. I don't know. I mean, like, but I don't know. I mean, it was all right. It was decent. I mean, a lot of people said that like Jack Nicholson was, he could have been used better, but I don't know. I mean, listen. If I'm Adam Sandler, I got an excuse to work with Jack Nicholson. I'm fucking doing it. I don't give a shit what anybody says. So there you go. Did another TV short called Couch. I never heard of any of these shorts. I don't know. But anyways, it says a man, Adam Sandler, goes shopping for a new couch. Okay, well, it lives up to the name, I guess. Okay. And then he did another thing short, Punch Drunk Love, 12 Scoop Pitones. 12 artwork transitions by Jeremy Blake for the film Punch Drunk Love. All right. Well, okay. Blossoms and Blood video short. I, I, again, yeah, deleted material with Punch Drunk. Wow. Okay. So again, let me just point this out. Like again, Punch Drunk Love, like it does it's got a following. I mean, clearly, but again, I just didn't. I couldn't get that in. Maybe I gotta watch it a third time. I don't know. Well, I'll figure this out. Don't worry. Okay. So 51st Dates comes out again. He teams up again with Drew Barrymore, and this is a movie where he ends up going out with a girl, and every day she wakes up the next day, it's like a clean slate. She doesn't remember anything, so he's just really trying to impress her. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't like this movie. I felt it was too silly. I just wasn't really feeling it. So I'm just being honest. I felt they had better chemistry in The Wedding Singer. See, that's the difference between The Wedding Singer and 51st Dates. Like The Wedding Singer, like you really feel the connection between them. I think it was taken more seriously. 51st Dates was more silly. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Now, Spanglish comes out. Now, this is a dude, who has, or played by Sandler, obviously. He has a family, hires a Spanish maid, and she kind of just, makes the family better. Again, I don't want to give away anything because this is actually a really good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. It's more of a serious movie with like funny parts, whatever. But I liked it. It was a really good movie. I really recommend it. Now, in 2005, he remakes a classic Burt Reynolds movie called The Longest Yard. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I watched this movie. First of all, the original kicks ass. I mean, if you've never seen the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds, I don't care if you're 10 or 80, go see this movie. It is excellent. But this movie. I mean, other than like the beginning, he did this. Well, no, actually, yeah. I mean, it actually was kind of similar to the original too. I mean, it's almost like a scene for scene remake, and it's like, what the fuck is the point? I mean, honestly, like again, I'm not trying to shit on Sandler or anybody like that, but I just did not see the point in this movie. I didn't see the point in making this movie. I mean, just make it like a different movie. I don't know, like. And like Burt Reynolds is in it. Adam Sandler plays the Burt Reynolds role. I mean, basically, this movie's about a dude who's a quarterback. And then he gets into some shit. He's got to go to jail, and then in jail they end up getting a game together where it's basically the inmates versus the guards. And Adam Sandler is in charge of the inmates, and it's a whole thing there. But like Just see the original. Honestly, I'm just being honest. Just see the original. You'll be happy. Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, horrible, absolute horrible. He's got a little cameo in that. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But still horrible. Longest Yard, deleted scenes. No. Now Click. Again, this is one of these movies where like it's like half the first half of the movie tries to be funny, and then the second half tries to be like a dramatic thing, whatever. I wasn't feeling it. Basically, it's about a dude who is given this clicker, this remote or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and he can literally fast forward. I think he can rewind time as well, maybe. I don't know, but I think he fast forwarded a lot of his life because it's just boring at work, whatever. And I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry, Sandman. I wasn't feeling it. So, again, Reign Over Me is a movie he did with him and Don Cheadle. It got good reviews. Again, I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, it's Sandler again trying to be, serious again, And it sounds like I'm shitting on Sandler for trying to be serious, which I'm not. But a lot of the times it's just not well executed, I feel. It's just kind of, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling this movie. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember what this movie's about, to be honest with you. I don't know. They have some weird friendship or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just wasn't feeling it. But if you want to check it out, go ahead. He showed up on an episode of King of Queens, with another one of his buddies, Kevin James. I don't remember if I saw the episode. I don't know, but I'm sure it was funny. And then that same year, obviously, they came out with the movie. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and it was all right. I mean, it had its moments. I don't know. Remember Schneider got the most shit for the movie because he was playing an Oriental minister or whatever, and I don't know. It was I don't know. It made the Mickey Rooney role in Breakfast at Tiffany's look like an angel. But anyways, it was all right. I mean, it's about two firemen who I I don't know. They have to get married for some reason. I don't know. I forgot, to be honest with you. I don't know. The next one was You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Now, a lot of people shit on this movie. I fucking love this movie. I thought this movie was hilarious. I thought it's basically about just picture Adam Sandler playing like a Borat, and he's like a secret agent. You know, I mean, like, how are you not laughing already? I mean, again, John Turturro was in it. He plays the bad guy. I don't know. It seems like whenever those two team up, I don't know, they always do good work together. So check it out. It's really funny. I liked it. A lot of people found it annoying. I thought it was pretty funny. Bedtime Stories was more of a kid-friendly movie. It's just him reading to his kids and all these little stories coming to life. It's a cute little movie, if you got a kid, I guess, and I don't know, you can't find the Finding Nemo DVD or Blu-ray or I don't know, whatever fucking year we're in. Yeah, you can watch that movie. It's cool. Funny people. Um, I mean, it had funny moments. I felt honest. Again, this is one of these movies where like there's just too many cameos. And this movie was like two. I think the unrated version was like 2.5 hours. I mean, it's a decent little movie. I remember seeing it in theaters. But I mean, there's no reason why a comedy should be 2.5 hours long. But again, like the concept of this movie was like he plays a comedian, Adam Sandler, and he's teamed up with Seth Rogen, who he hires as a writer. And Adam Sandler finds out he has cancer, and he just wants to, make his rights wrong or wrongs right. I don't know. I forget. I'm tired. And I mean, it's decent. I don't know. Like, I felt this movie could have been really good because like the concept of this movie, like it was, kind of telling like the behind the scenes of what like a lot of comics, go through. A lot of comedians, go through before they go on stage and then they hit success. And I felt they got a little sidetracked in scenes, and I mean, it's decent. It's all right. Grown Ups. Now, I saw this movie in theaters. Good little movie. I mean, he described it as his version of The Big Chill. Let me tell you something. Sandler, I love you, man. I do. But this movie, it doesn't even come close to The Big Chill, okay? Like, again, the problem with this movie, I felt there's a lot of scenes where you can tell, like, everyone's making jokes, and there's that like forced laugh on screen, and that was kind of the most annoying thing about it. Like, there are funny scenes in this movie, it's a cute little movie, whatever, but I don't know, it's all right. Just go with it. Yeah, it's the movie he did with Jennifer Aniston. I'm not gonna lie to you, I never saw this movie. I don't know. I mean, it could be good. I don't know. I never saw it, so it's your call. Zookeeper, again, he let Kevin James do a movie about a dude who plays a zookeeper, and Adam Sandler plays a voice of Donald the monkey. Okay, so decent movie at best. I mean, it was all right. I don't know. Yeah. Now, Jack and Jill. Oh shit. Yeah, this is this is by far the worst Adam Sandler movie I've ever seen in my life. It's not even close. He did a skit on Saturday Night Live where him, Spade, and Farley all played women. I'm pretty sure like the look and the way he sounded, he basically borrowed from that skit. This movie is just absolutely horrible. I mean, Al Pacino makes an appearance. It's you know, if you ever hear the word cringe, I mean, like literally as I'm recording this, I got my hands over my eyes. I mean, this is just brutal. This is absolutely brutal. I pray to God right now, God, please make sure that Adam Sandler never does a movie like this again. Please, 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 please. Yeah, I gotta move on, man. That's my boy. I loved it. I saw it in theaters with my dad. I thought it was funny. It's an extremely stupid and silly movie, but it was an R-rated movie. I think that's why it didn't make as much money, because a lot of Adam Sandler movies tend to be PG or PG-13, so I think he lost some money on that one, but I don't give a shit. It was worth it. It's about a guy who's played by Andy Samberg, and he finds out, his dad's still alive, and his dad, Adam Sandler, needs like a bunch of money, and again, it sounds like I'm not really excited about this movie, but it is actually a really funny movie. Vanilla Ice is in it, and yeah, you're gonna think it sucks, but I'm telling you, Vanilla Ice, okay, was funny in this movie. Like everybody pulled their weight in this movie. Like I thought it was a really funny movie. So check it out. And now he's still doing the voiceover work with Hotel Transylvania. Something for the kids. I've never seen it. It looks cute. Jesse TV series, I've never heard of it. Grown Ups 2, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Grown Ups 2 was better than the first one. Again, that's not saying much, but I don't know. I thought it was still funny. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is a show with Andy Samberg. He showed up on there. Again, I never saw it. Blended. Again, he teams up with Drew Barrymore. I'm sorry, man. 3 strikes, you're out, okay? Yeah, Wedding Singer was great. 50 Dates, no. This one, again, I did not hear good things. I saw little clips here and there. I just, I just wasn't feeling it. Top 5, I mean, it's a Chris Rock movie, but Adam Sandler does a great cameo in it. I mean, he's at the strip club with him, Chris Rock, and Whoopi Goldberg. I don't want to give anything away, but it is funny. He's definitely giving him some great advice on that one. Men, Women, and Children. I never heard of this movie. I don't know. I've never seen it. The Cobbler, I saw this one. It's just basically, again, it's like kind of like, it's more of a serious movie, but again, I just wasn't really feeling it. I did Pixels. Now, Pixels, again, Pixels, again, it did not have, a really good, solid story, but, I thought it was decent. I mean, I like the graphics in that. It wasn't anything spectacular. I think if they put more into the story, basically it's about a dude who is friends with the president. The president is played by Kevin James. Yes, I just said that. All these video games start coming from space and taking over the world. I know it doesn't make any fucking sense. And again, the story, if they put more into the story, this could have been a really good classic movie, I felt, but the story was not there. Here's actually a better story, and I swear to God, this is actually true. I actually applied to be an extra in this movie. I didn't hear anything for 3 weeks. Then all of a sudden, I get a random phone call of them asking me, do you want to be Kevin James's stunt double? And I'm like, I'm just assuming it's a prank call. And I call back, and they're like, yeah, we're serious. We want you to do this. And I'm like, okay, cool. What do I have to do? Okay, we're gonna ask you a series of questions. I'm like, okay, sure. They asked me, one question. because we didn't even get to the whole series of questions, and I'll tell you why. Because they asked me the one simple question, how tall are you? And I said, I'm 6'1". Oh, sorry. Kevin James is only 5'8". So yeah, we're going to have to end this, and unfortunately we can't go with you. Sorry. I'm like, oh my God, like, my heart's broken, man. I'm like, shit, I could have been on set of an Adam Sandler movie, stunt double Kevin James. That would be awesome. But yeah, I did not know Kevin James. I always thought Kevin James was taller. So yeah. And that's my story for the day. But anyways, yeah, he's still doing the Hotel Transylvania 2. And now this is where he made like the whole Netflix deal. He made The Ridiculous Six, which a lot of people didn't like. I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right. I mean, it's got a lot of, funny people in it, a lot of cool people in it. I thought it was all right. Then he did the Do-Over, which he did with Spade. I didn't like this movie. I didn't feel there was much of a plot here, so I wasn't really feeling that one. Then the next one he did was Stanley Wexler, which is about, I believe, an agent that he knew. And, it kind of just loosely tells the story about him and his mannerisms and all that. It's a decent little movie. I like it. Out of the 3 so far he did, I would definitely recommend that one. So, yeah. And, yeah, he's still doing projects, apparently. I think he just signed a new deal with Netflix, I think, to do 3 more movies. One of them came out just last year, the week of, with Chris Rock. Again, I was not feeling this one. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I thought the funniest part in it was when Ronnie Munn from the Howard Stern show says, the classic line, moron! Which I can't believe he kept fucking up that one line, and they kept ripping on him in the show. But anyways, yeah, he's still doing the Hotel Transylvania movies. He did the 3rd one, Summer Vacation. He's got some other ones coming up now. I don't know if these movies are going to be on Netflix or not. What's this one called? Uncut Gems, Plot Undisclosed. Okay, well, we're just going to have to wait then. It's coming out this year, 2019. He's got another one coming out called Murder Mystery. Again, he's teaming up with Jennifer Aniston, New York cop and his wife going on a European vacation. Yeah, okay, all right. So we'll see what happens, But yeah, basically, I mean, Sandler will, in my heart, always be funny. And I mean, the best advice I can give this Sandler right now is, and again, this is no disrespect to like, the scripts or anything like that, but like, I mean, just, just make sure they're really funny and not just like, quick little jokes here and there. And, I mean, Sandler's main legacy will definitely be, let's say, mostly in the 90s for sure, like mid 90s, late 90s, when he did all those, great movies. And, yeah, I mean, like, I'm always going to have a soft spot for Adam Sandler, no matter what he does, It's just one of those things where, it doesn't seem like Adam Sandler is going to slow down anytime soon. He's got the deal with Netflix, like I said before. And, listen, if someone gives me whatever, I'm just assuming he's getting at least like 20 to 25 mil a film. I'm going to do it too, But, like, you have so much room for creativity. So I've heard people say this before, like maybe you should bring in some new blood, some new, comedians or actors and stuff like that. And no disrespect, to the people that you're working with before, because again, I love these dudes, all the boys you grew up with Saturday Night Live and, but it's probably, good to just, bring in some new people and, maybe some new writers and, just play off different ideas. That's all, see what works, like I just want to see Adam Sandler do like one last, like really good comedic movie, like something, that, will just get us crying, laughing. And, like I said, my favorite movie, one of my faves, is Happy Gilmore. I love that movie, and just the concept of it alone, like a hockey player turns into a golfer. And Adam Sandler has always been that kind of like nice guy in films, and sometimes like when he loses it, it's really funny and it's really cool. But in the end, he's always a lovable average Joe, and that's what I will always love about Adam Sandler.